Hey gang, welcome back to J Daddy's Garage. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. You know, as I work in my garage and I work on these old cars, these old Mustangs and various other vehicles, one thing that's always a problem for me is lighting. You know, as we get older, our vision becomes a little more weak and we have trouble seeing some things. So my shop currently, I have some LED lights on either side of the garage, and I have a couple up front here that I've installed. I was given an opportunity by Ensenior Light Company, you can see here, available on Amazon, to try out some of their LED lights. Now, what I like about these, I mean, I have not tried these, so I don't know anything about them, but what I like about them is they're linkable. You know, you can plug one into the other. I have a couple of outlets up in my rafters, and I want to take advantage of that and try to get more lights in here without having to run more wiring throughout the shop. Let's take a look at the lights, but before we do that, I just want to do a little walk around and show you the brightness level that we can see in the garage. So again, it is about 3 in the afternoon. There's no direct sunlight coming in the windows. As you see overhead, I have some 8-foot LEDs and I have some short run LEDs going this direction. If you look at my classic Mustang sitting here, you can see how much shadow there is around the car, how bright, let's say, or not bright the door is with the reflective values. Just kind of looking around the shop and just seeing how bright, or let's say not so bright, things may be. So you can see there's shadows down here around my welding table. You can see, you know, again under the car and even inside the car. So hopefully, once I put some lights up, we'll see how much of a difference there is. Now I do expect a difference because obviously adding more light makes things better. But that's where it's at right now. Up here, I have a big open space. You can also see that I have outlets. I have one there and I have one over there. And they are connected to the main switch for the shop. So I'm going to take advantage of those and get things hooked up. So to give you some perspective here, these are, again, 4-foot linkable LED utility shop lights. High brightness, clean look, stylish design. 4,400 lumens gives you an energy cost per year on average. Tells you that it's also 36 watts. And daylight light, 5,000 K, basically 3 hours. It's supposed to be 50,000 plus hours based on 3 hours a day usage for 365 days out of the year. It also talks about the temperature of the light, the beam angle, and voltage. So it looks like you could wire it to well, I guess at least 120 in my case. Other than that, I will tell you that this box has a set of black lights in it, and this box has a set of white lights in it. Also, it says right here that it's no flicker. I'm going to see if I can test that out and determine if that's accurate, but anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So let me get these opened up, have another look at this end down here. Again, 4,400 lumens, supposedly 45.6 years. That would be great. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to unbox these and have a look at them. Pretty good box. Pretty tough box. It's actually like a double wall cardboard, so that's a plus. There's the instruction sheet. It also points out these are anti-glare. So if you look at these ends here, it says it's frosted, and it's supposed to be anti-glare. So let's hope that's accurate. Interesting, couple side-by-side tubes there. Inside the packaging, there's a series of different ways to hang them apparently. So you got some hooks, some chains, and some screws. So we'll take a look at that. Oh, here's something else. As I take these out, I didn't realize. Check that out. It's got a switch on it. Now granted, I'm going to mount these up in the ceiling, so I'll have to make sure those are in the on position. I don't see a direct on-off, but that should be pretty easy to resolve, right? Also, if you look at the end, there's your plug-in. So that makes it a lot easier to connect things. Again, the only difference between these is these have a white end on them. Here's something else, I'll point this out while I'm here. If you look, it's got a slotted hole there and one down here on the other end. So you could just run a screw into your 2x4, your rafter, your ceiling, and push this up on the screws, slide it, and lock it in. So, pretty simple to unpackage. Plastic sleeve. And I do like, you know, here it has this flat surface on the back, and it talked about being 180 degrees of illumination. So, you know, with these, the way this backing is, it's going to put light out on either side. I've seen other ones where it kind of has a center strip, you know, that it just kind of punch it down. So we'll take a look at that and see how that affects the lighting. I'll also point out, that's some pretty tough material by the looks of it. I mean, I can put some pressure on those, and it feels nice and solid. Nice and solid. All right, just for an experiment, I'm going to take this one here that's in the middle and just plug it in. And flip the switch. Cool. Like I was saying, you know, you can see the strips in the back. That's obviously where the LED is mounted. So you do get light coming out to the sides. So, like I said, the goal is to get more light in the shop. And what I will do is I'll make sure, I'll go through and make sure that all of these are basically in the on position. Probably not a bad idea to just test them all first, right? You don't want to hang these up, plug them in, and they don't work. So let's take a look at the hardware that comes with this. I'm just going to rip this open because I'm not going to save this back. It comes with some inserts that you can put in the sheetrock, some screws, kind of a, you know, countersunk, but, you know, broad head on them. So what you could do is you could drill holes. If you're, you know, putting in a sheetrock, you could drill holes for the plugs, put the screws in, and then slide the lights onto the, you know, where those holes are. You put it on and slide it left and right, and that'll hold that. Or you could also put that on a wall if you wanted. Just, you know, instead of your ceiling, you could put it on the sidewall. Or you could take these eye bolts. There's two of those with a loop on the end. I don't know if you'd call these eye bolts or eye screws, but anyway, you get the idea. So you could thread these directly into a truss and use the wood, or you could probably use these, put those into your sheetrock, turn these into those, thread them in, and then you've got two pieces of chain. Now on one end of the chain you have an S-hook, you know, that you can hook onto the eye bolt. Right? And then the other end, if you look at this, like I said, this is where you could take those screws and run them in and slide it left or right to lock it in. But it has a cutout here on the end. So you take your little carabiner, which is on the other end of the hook, snap it in, and now you've got the light secured. So that's what I'll be using. I'm going to put all these up with these hooks, so I have to snap all those chains on there. Pretty easy. You know, there's actually another way to use these. You could easily do the hook on the loop like I had said, or what you could do if you wanted to is take those screws that came in the pack and you could run them into the truss sideways. If you have open ceilings like I do, you could run them in sideways, and then you could just hook the hook onto those, or you could, if you wanted to, run a screw straight through the end of the chain and put it onto your truss as well. Make it a little more secure. For me, I'm kind of undecided how I want to do it because I may want to reconfigure this over time. Right now I have 8 lights and I don't know for sure if I'm going to put all 8 lights in the same location. However, I am going to be using the chain and the hooks. Alright, so what I'm going to start with is I'm going to take the first light and it's going to get plugged into that outlet. And I'm going to run 2 lights on that truss, skip one, go to the next one, run 2 lights, skip one, and run 2 lights on the next truss. Now these are 48 inches in length, so you can take a tape measure, measure off where you want to put them, run your eye loops in, and simply connect things. So that's where I'm going to start with on this side. To make it easier, I'm going to take a small drill bit and drill a pilot hole. They do make a tool that you can, I believe they make a tool where you can grab on one of these and spin it in with your drill. I don't have one. Just to make it easy, I'm going to plug this in right now. I know I already have power there. I'm going to hook this end and then shift my ladder over so that I can get the other end up in place. I may need to extend my wires just a little bit because the chain is longer than the wire. So I want the chain to hold the weight. You could also take a small screwdriver and put in the end of the loop to help you turn it. There's one, and now that I have an outlet on the other end of the light. So I'm going to continue on. Okay, all 6 lights are up. I have 2 set aside that I may use in another area of the shop. What I wanted to experiment with, I'm going to use my camera phone and I'm going to see if there's any flicker. And there it is, actually on video recording, and I don't see any flicker. Now I do see, you know, just a line in my phone that shows a light, but I don't see any flicker. That's a good thing. Now again, these are pretty easy to put up. You know, I just use the chains and the hooks. I connected each one to the other. The only drawback that I see that I can address later is the hanging of this wire right here. I will probably fold it against itself and zip tie it together just to tighten it up. I did adjust these in the center so they have a little bit of sag, but they're not in my way at all. But that's the only thing I could see is any kind of issue. And this, you can maybe see the black one. So I have the 4 white lights up front and the 2 black lights here in the back. But I feel like I see a difference. I should. I mean, it's more light, obviously. And like I said, they're not that hard to put up. So here's the car back in the shop. It has been about an hour. You know, that was not long at all. Obviously the car is going to block the light, so we know that much. But definitely more well lit on top. This side of the shop has more light on it, which is awesome. That's what I need to have. Even back there, you can see there's more light towards the back. Now, I don't have any lights in that midsection in the back, so it's expected to be darker. And even, I think you can see inside the car better. You know, a little more light coming through the windshield. So that's a good thing. Alright, that'll be the end of this video. Once again, this is the Ensenior 4-foot LED linkable shop light. And if you're interested, there is a link in the title that you can click on that you can order one of these or a set of these. Now, along with that, I have an agreement with the company that sent these to me that I could do a giveaway of 1 set of lights. So what I plan to do is I will post this video and I will let it run for, let's say, a week. And everybody who likes this video and leaves a comment, you know, just leave any kind of comment, want light, I don't care, whatever you want to put, happy with that, anything like that. If you leave a comment on the video, I can do a drawing, and then I'll get the company that information and they can send you one of these light kits. So once again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.